Have some low-key Halloween fun with us as we talk about some guy's ridiculous list of Halloween candy he doesn't like, and a legendary Austin costume shop that's closing its doors for good this year. Plus a bonus story about Verity Goblin. Noslin.
Welcome to
Pitney and Amelia's Bitchin' Boutique. We may be awful, but we're right.
Woo, welcome to our Halloween episode. Woo! Such as it is.
Oh, it's going to be glorious, as always.
Yeah. I mean, I know this year, everything about this year has been a little more low-key and weird than compared to past years, because this year has been somewhat of a nightmare, but so we haven't been able to do things to quite the level to which we are accustomed.
Yeah, because I was on hiatus this year, and we both had so much shit going on.
Shit is exactly the right word for it. Yeah. And it's been nuts, and having to not be able to do an all the horror episode has been really upsetting. But this year our Halloween episode is not as huge as years past. I mean, like last year was such a good one. Pitney and Amelia's Spooky Stacks. I mean, we did kind of shoot our wad last year. That episode was so damn good. I went back and re-listened to it the other day, and god damn it, that was a really, really good one.
My favorite is still the Halloween Records one.
That's literally the one I just mentioned.
Oh, was that last year? Oh, I thought that was the year before.
No, Spooky Stacks.
That
Spooky
was
Stacks
last
is the Halloween.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm getting senile. I swear that was the year before.
Oh my god, no, that's literally last year. Yeah.
Really? Wow. Okay.
Well, okay. I'm gonna double check.
You. My brain just can't.
I'm gonna double check.
My brain just can't go around it.
You are making me check. You are making me check. Okay.
And while you're looking, speaking of that, I should say dig out, like I'm digging out a record, but I dug out, as in, like, I found the file of that spoken word Halloween album that I love so much. The Night in a Haunted House and Night in the Graveyard.
Oh my god.
What?
No, you're right. It was 2 years ago.
Okay, I thought so.
Damn it. No, you're right. Last year was Boo Bitch.
Okay.
Last year was Boo Bitch. And that's right. 2 years ago. Because 2 years ago was when we did Kitschy Bitchy Christmas and Spooky Stacks. When we did the two record.
Oh, yeah.
Christmas and Halloween records. That's right. I apologize.
Yeah, because I dug that out and I was blasting it the other day. And Mom was just kind of walking by and she just stuck her head in the room. It was like, what are you listening to? And she's like,
oh my god.
And it was, because it's kind of a weird thing just to listen to for no reason really loud,
It is. Yeah. And, okay, so, but really, if this one doesn't get, listeners, if this one doesn't get you in the Halloween mood as much as other ones, we do have, just go back and listen to the other ones, on our YouTube channel. There is a playlist that you can, listen to, you can go to, and I put all the Halloween ones in one playlist. You can listen to them all, anyway, but this one will have, so we're going to start off by talking about some stuff that's going on this year, but then we are going to dive into an article that we found about where some asshole is talking about the Halloween candy that he thinks shouldn't be given out anymore, and this guy is a douchebag, and we are going to rip him we're going to rip him to shreds.
Millennial piece of shit.
And then after that, I am going to bid farewell to a magnificent costume shop where I used to work, Lucy in Disguise with Diamonds, because they are closing this year. So stay tuned for that. But first, we're going to talk about what's going on this year. I will just quickly say that as soon as we are done recording this episode, I have to immediately get started on a lot of crafting, because once again, I have bitten off more than I can chew.
You are the Halloween lady in your neighborhood.
I am. And, you know, the theme of this year, whether I like it or not, has just been pirates. Everything is about pirates. And so this year, all of the skeletons in my front yard will be dressed as pirates.
Yay!
Pirates. I have pirates. There, some will actually, you know, like one in particular will be wearing a large child's pirate costume.
Fabulous.
Because skeleton sizes, adult sizes are way too big for a skeleton, which is good because child's costumes are way cheaper.
Oh,
and
hell yeah.
And the rest of them are just going to wear clothes from thrift stores that, you know, like striped pajama pants and shirts and things that are piratey enough. And I'm gonna, you know, they'll have, you know, swords, and I got a skeleton bird. It's like a crow skeleton or a raven, but I'm gonna decorate it with some scant homemade glitter foam feathers that I'm making, so that it will appear to be a parrot skeleton, because you can't get a parrot skeleton. So my skeleton pirate will have a skeleton parrot.
That's cool.
Because, you know, I don't go halfway on these things. I'm nuts. And I'm going to be the crafts that I'm working on today. I'm going to be making a stack, a sort of pyramid shaped stack of cannonballs out of styrofoam and glue and black crepe paper.
Yay.
And I'm going to be turning cardboard boxes into fake wooden boxes out of glue and tissue paper. And
I gotta say, at Target this year, the skeleton animal thing is big. And I know it's kind of becoming big in the past years, because you see more and more of it. It started off just as a few things, but this year it's like, at Target, it's insane. The
anatomically incorrect animal skeletons really
but they have
annoy me.
skeleton ravens.
Yeah.
They have not one, but two styles of skeleton kittens.
Kittens?
One is a regular kitten, one is a crouching kitten in skeleton form. There's skeleton piglets. Yeah.
What?
Skeleton piglets is I can't even, there's so many.
And you know, the thing that aggravates me the most about those things is that they always have ears and things, and of course...
Oh, yes, well, they do always have ears, which would,
ears don't have bones.
But they make them more identifiable, so yes, but they are cute.
That's why when you find a skull, it's hard to know instantly what animal it is, because the things that identify an animal don't have bones.
Oh, yeah. But I will say the
ears.
Skeleton ravens are pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, the one I bought is very weird shaped, but that's because I was going for something more parody. Yeah, but they're Yeah, but
it's
I've
weird,
seen skeleton fish. The mermaid
fish,
skeletons are very big, which is cool because the season 2 for Our Flag Means Death is a design of 2 mermaid skeletons in like a yin-yang kind of Pisces
fabulous
thing. And one of them is holding a heart and the other one is holding the spear, like Blackbeard's flag.
Oh, well,
and
I
so
wonder what that's alluding to.
People are using the mermaid skeletons you can buy in the Halloween sections of stores to make. They're making Halloween wreaths to mimic the symbol, the logo for season 2.
That's fabulous.
Everything comes back to Blackbeard and Steed. Everything.
That is fabulous.
The world revolves around Gentlebeard. Anyway, but yes. So that's what I'm all about. What are you up to today?
So, although I will say, just on a more mundane level, I've amped up my Halloween porch decorations a little bit.
Good.
I've gone from having like a couple strings of battery operated lights and a couple witches to a little bit of fabric, and now this year, we've put blackout blinds on the beams of the porch.
Oh, nice.
Because, I have one of those, those really narrow, short 1950s porches that are like a hallway in front of big windows, and the goddamn sun comes in. So we actually put out blackout blinds on the porch. So on the blinds, I have all the blinds covered with that, black and white, the spooky fabric that you buy.
Right.
So those are all covered. All 3 panels are covered. I have my witches and my ghosts hanging. And I have more lights this year. So it's not glamorous, but it's exciting. And I will have, and this is what I'm going into that I'm really doing this year, which is major and cool. I am going to have a whole fake graveyard in my front yard this year.
Oh, that's so awesome. Oh my God.
And the birth of the graveyard was rather tragic. Well, I guess as birth of graveyards would be, right?
Yeah.
But the birth of the graveyard was rather tragic in that with the pagan group that I'm associated with, based out of San Antonio, we're doing an online ritual this year, which is unlike anything we've done before, and it's based on a song. This song called Dances in Graveyards by Delta Ray. Delta R-A-E Ray.
Okay.
They're like a fabulous folk rock band with lots of witchy themes in their music, and they're really fabulous.
Very cool.
And this song is like a very joyous song about basically dancing in a graveyard, and it starts off, when I die, I don't want to rest in peace. And it's meaning like, I want to have my relatives and my loved ones come visit me so my spirit can dance with them.
Right.
And it's like a really joyous take on, this, maybe a more somber Samhain, or maybe a more somber Day of the Dead.
Which is which is a good way of celebrating.
Yeah, and we decided we were going to do that because it's joyous, and with the news and the wars and everything. Anyway, this year's been shitty. It's even shittier than the pandemic year, as far as I'm concerned. With everything that's gone on, so we decided to be joyous. But anyway, I spent all this money, and we made these costumes. Me and a friend made these costumes. And we had all these big plans that we had to go to this fabulous historical cemetery in Santa Cruz that we were going to film. Well, it didn't happen the first day. And then it didn't happen the second day. And then the third day it didn't happen because my said friend arrived 3 hours late with no makeup on.
Right, and people need to understand, like, you were dressed and ready and made up, and these things take time.
And it was like, we need to drive an hour, and now we have to go in traffic. So we're not doing it.
Right.
So I'm going to go to Target, and I'm going to buy all this fake graveyard stuff. Right. And we're setting up a fake graveyard in the backyard to film it. So I did that. Well, she didn't like it. She thought it was too cheesy. And it's like, well, yes, it's cheesy, but it's all that we have to do right now.
Right.
Because if we leave now, we're going to drive through 5 o'clock traffic all the way to Santa Cruz.
And then it'll be dark and you won't have the light to film.
Dusk. And yeah, so we're doing this now. So anyway, it didn't get done. But today I'm doing it in my fake graveyard in the backyard. And it's going to be fabulous. I'm going to dance joyously in the graveyard with my ancestors today.
Oh my God.
And I think that's a really cool theme. And, it's like I've done so many rituals where they've been motivated by songs or passages in books. And it's weird that it's just like, this is just by a song and a music video. And we're doing this whole thing. So I think it's really cool.
But honestly, inspiration can come from anywhere. And that's the cool thing about that kind of shit. And that's the fun thing about like modern paganism, and that's why a lot of the people who get really, really strict about that shit need to shut the fuck up, because if you're going to be too strict about things, that's why religions die.
Oh yeah, and we won't get into it now, but I've gotten in arguments with people about how pop my paganism is sometimes. Yep.
It's like, ideas can come from anywhere. It's like, well, yeah, the shit that seems so traditional now, it was pop hundreds of years ago. Yeah. So fuck off. Yeah, exactly. Anyway.
Yeah, but anyway. Dancing in Graveyards by Delta Ray. Fabulous song.
It sounds good. I'm going to totally look it up. That's awesome.
Oh, watch the video, because my costume that I made, well, half made, half bought.
But I love that coat. Oh my God. You should wear that coat like as a regular coat, because it's cool.
Yeah, is a recreation of the lead singer from that video, so watch the video.
That's so cool. That's so cool. I love it.
Oh, let's put a link to the video in the show.
Oh, totally. Oh, yeah, we can totally do that. Absolutely.
Let's put a link to the video in the show. Anyway.
Very cool.
So,
yay.
Onward.
Halloween. Yay.
The Year of the Saints.
Had to find a story of a saint that was particularly spooky for our Halloween episode. And when you're talking saints, that's really saying something. I mean, I've already told stories this year that are pretty gruesome and bloody, but I think this one has a little something special. I'd like to introduce you to Saint Christina the Astonishing. Back in the 1100s, in what is now Belgium, Christina was an orphaned shepherdess who suffered from seizures. And one day, in her early 20s, she had a really massive seizure that left her unconscious and limp, so much so that everyone thought she was dead. She was put in a coffin, and a funeral was planned, and folks gathered round at the local church. And in the middle of her funeral, Christina flung open the lid of the coffin and jumped right up. And then she looked around at all the people gathered, and that bitch levitated all the way up to the rafters, telling them she couldn't stand the smell down there with all the stinky sin of those people. What is it about saints that fly and their ability to smell sin on people? Y'all remember Joseph of Cupertino? Anyway, when Her Highness comes back down to the smelly, sinful people on the ground, she tells them that, oh yeah, she really did die. And she was given a tour of hell, and purgatory, and heaven. And God was all, I'm gonna let you choose. Stay up here in heaven with us, or go back to earth and live a life of charity and suffering. And obviously, she chose the second one. So everyone thinks, this chick is a nutbag. Not only did she choose suffering over actual heaven, but she went like maximum strength Mountain Dew extreme level suffering, throwing herself into fires and screaming her head off about the pain, jumping into the lake in the winter, shivering from the cold, running through thorn bushes, letting herself be attacked by dogs, but like praying the whole time and somehow not being visibly harmed by any of it. So was she just nuts? Was she a demon? She would sometimes get locked up in jail because she was acting so wacky, but they would just end up letting her go because she was so utterly obedient and never hurt anyone. And despite all her erratic, dangerous behavior, Christina died peacefully of natural causes at the ripe old age of 74. And apparently, even though there was definitely something saint-ish up with her, and a lot of people went to her for advice and whatnot while she was alive, she's never been officially, fully recognized as a saint, even though the church had included her in some liturgical calendars way, way back. It's a whole thing. But people love her crazy ass. And she's cool enough that Nick Cave wrote a song about her. And no matter what, you can't deny that Christina was astonishing. All right. So, Halloween candy.
Ugh.
I went looking because, I was thinking about Halloween candy and how my initial thought was how weird it is that there's certain types of Halloween candy that I think is weird that still exists. Like those ones that are in like the orange and black wrappers and it's like some kind of weird, almost peanutty taffy shit. And you still see that and I don't even know what that is or who makes it.
Oh, yeah.
Like I was thinking about stuff like that. So I thought, I'm going to look and see if there's like an article about weird Halloween candy. That would be fun. I did not expect to find this vile piece of shit article from Mashable. I think this guy's name is Brian. I think his last name might be pronounced Kerber, if it's assuming it's German. I'm assuming it's pronounced Kerber.
But anyway, I think he's a douche and I hate him.
Yeah. The top 20 worst Halloween candies we need to stop giving out. So, and he actually wrote this last year, but I don't care. I'm sure he still agrees with it, and he needs to shut the fuck up. I mean, he starts off, the number one thing on his list is a strong start. So you start off thinking, oh, this is going to be a good list. And then very quickly, it deteriorates into, what the fuck is wrong with this guy?
Oh, I know. And not only is his taste in candy wrong, but he's an asshole about his taste in candy, too. Yeah.
So, number one, Necco wafers. I mean, I don't think apart from possibly my dad, I can't think of anyone who would argue that Necco wafers are good or worth eating.
They taste like ivory soap.
I mean, I it's been so long since I've tasted one, but they are the kind of thing that I don't even know if the different colors technically have flavors. They probably have a subtle difference in flavor.
Oh, but yeah, they're nasty. They taste like goddamn soap.
They're basically like, licking rocks. I don't understand it.
Yeah. Totally on board with him there.
Yeah. Second is Smarties. I actually really like Smarties. But
Me too.
See, to me, my first thought was when I saw Smarties on the list. Now, Smarties, see, he keeps talking about the chalky texture. When I think of Smarties, I think of that tart sourness. And to me, my first thought, and I'm just gonna throw this out here because I believe that this guy is of the age group that, because, spoilers, there is nothing on this list that is Sour Patch Kids. There's nothing on this list that's like Warheads. He apparently doesn't have a problem with things that are super, super, super sour. So I think he is of the generation that grew up on Sour Patch Kids.
Yeah, like I said, he sounded like a millennial. What did I say? Millennial son of a bitch
Yeah.
or something?
Like, I think that if he tastes a Smartie and all he can think of is chalky texture, then he is missing the sweet tartness. Like, he doesn't mention sweet tarts either. I love sweet tarts. But like,
oh my God. And
but sweet tarts make my eyes twitch because they're too tart for me.
The thing I love about Smarties is I love, like, pulling either end of the little tube and having it do, like, a little half turn and then put it in your hand, and there's something very satisfying. And then I would pick out the colors that I wanted.
Right.
There's something very satisfying. The unwrapping is half of the joy of the Smarties.
The way that they're shaped... They're like little discs, but they have that slight curve to them so that
the little indentation.
So that they actually fit together like Pringles. That they actually stack nicely. Smarties are adorable. I think Smarties are great.
Oh, yeah.
So asshole number 1 for that. Okay, number 3, candy buttons. Who gives candy buttons out on Halloween? Nobody does. Because candy buttons are not sanitary. Candy buttons
they're stupid. I will agree with him on that. They're stupid. They're a thing of the past.
They're a thing of the past, but also no one has ever given them out on Halloween because they're not sanitary. They're not wrapped. They are strips of paper with globs of sugar on them. It's like...
Yeah, and that's from an era back when... sugar was actually a treat.
Just eating sugar. Like, getting a sugar cube
because
was
sugar
was
a treat. Because sugar was not in everything back when those were invented.
Right. Getting a taste of sugar, just straight on sugar, was exciting. Sugar with food coloring in it.
So, that is like, that's not even relevant because,
Right.
Anyway.
And the next 2 things on the list are candy corn and mellow cream pumpkins. Now, again... straight up sugar. Straight up corn syrup and sugar.
Yeah, but I gotta say, I love candy corn. I always have.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it.
But I hate those pumpkins.
The pumpkin, there is something weird.
I hate them, but I hate them.
I think the problem with the pumpkins is that the serving size, shall we say. A candy corn is the exact size for the amount of sugar. Like, if you put 1 candy corn in your mouth, that is a quantity of sugar and corn syrup and whatever to be good. The pumpkin, it's too much.
Yeah,
it's
and
too much at once.
I don't like those. They're weird. They're squishy. I don't like the pumpkins.
It's like they take the idea of a candy corn and they ruin it.
But to not like candy corn, I mean, it's un-American.
And no one's forcing anyone to eat candy corn. Also, when you get candy corn at Halloween, like he's showing a giant bag of candy corn. If you got it in your trick or treat bag, you're getting a teeny tiny little bag that probably has 8 candy corn in it.
Yeah,
that's not gonna hurt you. Just eat the fucking candy corn. That's fine.
Yeah, but it's right.
It's a little treat.
It's un-American to not like candy corn.
It's just a little sugary treat. Just enjoy it.
Oh, I bet he's a communist.
And the next thing on the list, Dum-Dums. I give Dum-Dums out. Dum-Dums are so fucking good. They're so fucking good.
They're classic. They're classic suckers. Everybody likes suckers.
And they have there are flavors in the bag of Dum-Dums. The peach Dum-Dum, it's one of the best candies there is.
Oh, to me, the grape, though. To me, the grape.
There's the cream soda. There's the root beer. There's the peach. And also, do you know what the mystery Dum-Dum is? Do you know what that is?
Mm-mm.
The mystery Dum-Dum is created when the Dum-Dum machine has to switch from one flavor to another. And they don't want to waste any of the yummy Dum-Dum material. So it is just a combination of one flavor and another. And they just wrap it and put the mystery wrapper on it.
See, that's fabulous.
But the mystery is always good because it's always just a combination of 2 delicious things that you can't quite put your
always good.
You can't quite put your finger on.
I like the root beer ones.
They're so fucking good.
Yes.
They're so good. And
So I don't remember, does he not, so he doesn't like the Dum Dum.
Right,
He doesn't
they're
like
on the
anything
list.
on the list.
And
oh,
he
that's
calls
right,
it,
because on the list yeah, okay.
he calls it bank candy. What does that even mean? It's a bank candy, prove me wrong, sentence with no punctuation in it. Like, that doesn't even mean anything. And then the next thing, Tootsie Rolls. There's nothing wrong with Tootsie Rolls.
Oh my God, Tootsie Rolls are fabulous. They're delicious. Again, the sensory satisfaction of pulling the little ends and watching it do its little partial twist to open it up.
Oh my God. I love Tootsie Rolls.
And they're fabulous.
It's one of my favorite candies.
You know, I bet this asshole shops at Whole Foods and he only buys all natural organic candies made out of sesame.
Oh my God. This piece of shit. If Tootsie Rolls weren't so good, why are Tootsie Pops so goddamn good? You are eating all this candy just to get to that delicious Tootsie Roll center.
Yeah.
What an asshole. And also, Tootsie Roll makes Fruit Chews. And I swear to God, Tootsie Roll Fruit Chews better than Starburst. You can take that to the fucking bank.
I love Starburst.
You can take that to the fucking bank. Tootsie Roll Fruit Chews, so goddamn good. And you can get them in the Child's Play bag at Halloween, but you can also sometimes find them in their own individual bag. I will just say that. It's harder to find, but sometimes you can find them. Number 8 on the list, Hot Tamales. And they're like yummy cinnamon candies. What's wrong with cinnamon candies?
And the thing is, I love those. I thought it was weird that they were including those in Halloween candy.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen them in the Halloween mix.
I don't know if they come in little packets, but I'm sorry, if you don't like hot tamales, you're an un-American asshole.
You're a fucking communist. Now,
because they're good, and if you don't like them, you're lying.
And here we have, so he's being very specific on this one, banana Laffy Taffy. Like, apparently, he doesn't have a problem with Laffy Taffy in general. He just doesn't like banana. And his sentence says, there's just something awful about imitation banana. Now, if I remember, your ex had a particular love for imitation banana. Am I remembering that correctly?
I remember he had a thing for it, and I don't remember if it was love or hate, but knowing him, it was probably love.
Yeah, I have a memory of
personally hate it.
I think he probably, like, you had to separate out all the special banana ones because he loved them. But, like, it's like, if he just doesn't like a particular flavor, he thinks that it has to be banished from all candy bags. It's like, so you trade it with someone. Someone hands out Laffy Taffy and you don't like one of the flavors?
I hate to agree with this asshole. And the thing about him is I keep thinking, I bet he's hot. But God, he's a pretentious little fuck.
Oh, I bet he's not.
But anyway,
next.
I hate to agree with him on something, but I agree with him on that. I hate the banana. I agree with him on that.
But it's like, it's still Laffy Taffy. It's like, it comes in like multiple flavors, so there's like one flavor you don't like, so you just don't eat that one.
But yeah.
Number 10, Twizzlers! Who the fuck doesn't like Twizzlers? And here's what he says. It doesn't matter that Twizzlers are strawberry flavored, they're still licorice, and licorice is not candy. Excuse me, Twizzlers are not licorice. Twizzlers are strawberry twists. And if you haven't drunk your soda through a Twizzler, what are you, Al-Qaeda?
And I guess, you know what I think it is? I think he's one of those young people that hate everybody that's older than him. And he's making fun of everything that's good because of that. That's what I really think.
He hates joy. That's what it is. He doesn't like fun. He doesn't like happiness.
And wouldn't it be disappointing if we find out who this guy is and he's like our age? Oh my God, that'd be devastated.
I'm sure he's not. He's not.
Hell no.
He's like a pop culture guy who writes at Mashable.
Oh, I know.
He's totally younger than us. There's no way he's Gen X.
You know, he's some 20-something fucking moron. Well, aren't they all? But anyway.
Now it's like, okay, look, I'm not a fan of Good and Plenty. Good and Plenty is next on the list. They may look like drugs, but they taste like licorice, and licorice is not candy. But you know what? there are people who like licorice. I have friends who like licorice, but they're still my friends.
Oh yeah, but I gotta say,
but also, I have never once seen Good and Plenty in a Halloween bag.
No.
Not once.
But, you know, I gotta say, I hate black licorice. And I hate Good and Plenty because of that.
But here's the
But
problem.
that's my own personal thing.
His article is about Halloween candy.
Yeah,
and he keeps
that's
talking
not
about
Halloween.
Shit. He keeps talking about shit that has never been a Halloween candy.
Yeah,
He's
that's
talking
not
about
Halloween.
movie theater candy. He's talking about movie theater candy.
Because what are you going to do? You're going to throw out some Good and Plenty? I mean, God, if you're going to do that, you may as well, you know, give them a couple lewds when they come by.
Oh my God. And then Mary Jane's, which again, you have to go to specialty stores.
What are those?
You have to get that at like fucking Cracker Barrel. That's old timey candy. It's like, I think it's like an anise flavored, not anus, and like that kind of slightly licoricey but better.
Okay,
it's grandma candy. Now. It is grandma candy. It's very...
Yeah, I'm bringing it up now because I have it on my phone too. I just haven't been... let me...
You like...
Oh, I don't even... Yeah, I don't know what those are.
You like literally have to go to an old-timey candy store. You can get it at places like Cracker Barrel where they sell like blackjack gum.
You know, but just this fact that this asshole, no thanks, Grandma.
Yeah.
I'm not losing a tooth today.
Yeah, and for the same reason, he also doesn't like Milk Duds for the same reason that he doesn't like caramel because it's sticky.
Yeah. But I think he's goddamn anti-sugar.
I think so too.
Which means he is some organic elite Whole Foods worshipping millennial dick.
Yeah, I think so too. He doesn't like caramel. So it's like we're getting into the home stretch on this stuff, and this is where you get to the point where you're like, this guy really, really is wrong. Because the next one we have Milk Duds. Who the fuck doesn't want caramel wrapped in chocolate? Who doesn't like that?
Everybody loves Milk Duds, and you can buy Milk Duds in the little things that they give out.
Yes,
sometimes. Yeah.
There are
and
Halloween
they're fabulous.
bags.
And this guy is sick and wrong. This guy clearly, he gets the Whole Foods flyers,
and he rubs them on his dick,
and he beats off while he looks at the stevia and the sesame seed ads.
Oh my God.
That is the only thing, because he doesn't like anything that's good.
He obviously uses tahini as a lubricant.
Oh my God, I bet he is the nom de plume for my organic cousin.
Oh my God. Oh, and next thing on the list, candy necklace. Again, no one has ever given candy necklaces out as Halloween candy. Not once, not ever. It makes no goddamn sense.
Yeah, because you'd be...
That makes no sense.
Handing out unwrapped weird things. Yeah. No, anyway.
Next, raisinets. First of all, he didn't even spell raisinets correctly because he can't spell raisin.
Yeah, this motherfucker. Oh, this
motherfucker. There's nothing... That's the best way to eat a raisin. Chocolate-covered raisins?
And because I hate him so much for this, I have to read this quote by him, because this is how much I hate him, because he's so wrong. Because raisinets are one of my favorite things.
They're so good.
This motherfucker. He said, raisins aren't good, and covering them in chocolate doesn't change a damn thing. Which sort of piece of shit doesn't like raisins?
It's like, even if they're not your favorite, covering them in chocolate absolutely does change it. Covering a raisin in chocolate is like the food of the goddamn gods. That's what that is. And Werther's? Okay, sure, yeah, old people do like Werther's, but you know what? Old people give Werther's to little kids because little kids want them because they're delicious.
And they're good.
They're
because
fucking
you
good.
Suck on them and they last about 5 minutes and it's a glorious thing.
I love
Werther's.
They're really fucking good. And then we get to two things that made me so goddamn mad I almost threw my phone, and that is Mounds and Almond Joy. Number 17, Mounds. Coconut has no place in candy. Number 18, Almond Joy. Neither do almonds. Who is this motherfucker?
I just don't know.
He's Mounds and Almond Joy? Really? This guy, I mean, what? What?
He's obviously living shit. He's living shit.
He's such an asshole. Such an asshole. I can't imagine.
Living shit.
Mounds, like dark chocolate on beautiful, beautiful coconut, like, because I have made like basically the equivalent of like Mounds, like sweetened condensed milk mixed with coconut, shredded coconut, and then encased in beautiful melted dark chocolate. I have made that before, and it is, you would be hard pressed to find anything more delicious than that.
Oh yeah. But let's do some hardcore analysis here of this asshole, because okay. First of all, he says coconut has no place in candy, and then neither do almonds. But then he complains about everything else before that, which is everything candy. Oh, this is too sticky. Oh, this is too sweet. Oh, this is too gooey.
Yeah, candy should apparently not have sugar or caramel or coconut or nuts.
And it's really weird. And this is like Mounds and Almond Joy are really busting my scientifically thought out, weak studied hypothesis about this guy being a whole food organic asshole. This pokes holes in that theory, because if he was that, he would love coconut and almonds.
Right. Like it would be like organically, locally sourced
so
almonds.
So maybe I think that this guy is like the equivalent of an atheist who isn't really an atheist, who's complaining just to argue for the sake of arguing and fight for the sake of fighting. His opinions probably aren't even real on any of this. I think he's being contrary just to be contrary.
Just to get clicks? Because he wants people to he wants people to share this article?
I think it's just for attention. And none of this is valid, because he's obviously sick.
I feel like we may have been sucked into this guy's trap.
Yeah.
God damn it. Although we're
talking
in it
about him.
We're in it this far. We're gonna have to go all the way to the end, because now we're at number 19.
We're almost done, but it's fabulous.
Number 19, Lemonhead, perfect for breaking a tooth while enjoying the lovely taste of chemical lemon. Now I will say, Lemonheads aren't my favorite, but if I'm gonna go for that level of sour, Lemonhead's pretty fucking good.
I love them. And why would you break your teeth on them, you stupid motherfucker?
You're supposed to suck on them.
Designed to be chewed, because clearly he's too young and stupid to realize that some candies you need to suck on.
Exactly.
Because millennials are all about instant gratification, and they can't understand.
There you go.
Sometimes you don't need to chew, you need to suck. And that's what millennials need to learn. You need to suck.
Millennials need to learn how to suck more.
Take that where you will.
Edging. That's what millennials need to learn. It's not the destination, it's the journey. And the beauty of Lemonheads, and correct me if I'm wrong, because it's been a long time. So Lemonheads, if I remember right, the outer layer is the most sour part, and as you get in there, it mellows.
It gets real sweet in the middle.
It goes from sour to sweet. So like
they're very sweet in the middle.
You get rewarded for your patience on a Lemonhead, which is nice, and that's what I remember about those. And then we have Whoppers. Really? You don't like Whoppers? Malted milk balls are so goddamn good. And then
he does like Whoppers.
And then he says,
he does.
It's not the 1950s anymore. Can we please give up malted things that aren't alcohol? Well, aren't you clever? Malted milk balls. Whoppers are so fucking good. That flavor.
They are so good.
That chocolate malt flavor. It's like he obviously, I mean, we normally get very angry about people and their goddamn palates. But this guy clearly doesn't have a sophisticated enough palate to appreciate the difference between chocolate and chocolate malt. He doesn't appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, he's an asshole. And I could go on and on about... Anyway, yeah, he's an asshole.
And then he adds dots to the end because he's stupid. I give out dots. Dots is part... In fact, the picture he uses for dots... I like
dots. Yeah, I like
the picture
dots.
he uses for dots has a basket that clearly has the Child's Play Halloween mix dumped in there because I recognize all that fucking candy. Oh, you can see the fruit Tootsie Rolls in there. You can see the fruit Tootsie Rolls in that basket. And dots are good. Dots are they're like jelly beans, but they're a little stickier. And they're so fucking good. I love dots. Dots are almost hard to explain. They're so fruity and they're so good, but they're also a thing that you can chew them, but they're almost better if you suck on them. Because they're so chewy that maybe you want to just slow down a bit. They're nice. They're really, really nice. And this guy's such an asshole. I think I really, like I said before, I think he's someone who he just wants to eat Sour Patch Kids. It's like he's not talking about pixie sticks.
Oh, I know, and it's like, you know, he's into all that 90s candy.
Warheads
and hello, talking about sugar sticking to your teeth. Oh, he's an asshole.
Movies are bombing all over the country. They are posing as movies you already know. They may be in your theaters, your neighbor's home, or even your own.
Why are you doing that voice?
I don't know. I thought it made me sound cool.
It doesn't.
I'm Jason Bishop, host of the Invasion of the Remake podcast, with co-hosts Sam Stepanenko and Trish Coughlin. Join us each week as we rotate talking about your favorite films and their not-so-favorite remakes.
We'll also dig deep to find forgotten films that we think are more worthy of remaking, complete with our own fantasy casting.
You can get all 130 episodes and counting on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Play Music, TuneIn, Radio Player FM, and all the best podcast providers, even
frickin' YouTube.
For the low, low price of absolutely nothing. Join the invasion. Subscribe today.
Or we'll blow up your planet.
I'm gonna have to splice in a little funerary music because there is sadness because an Austin icon is closing. The store, Lucy in Disguise with Diamonds, will be closing at the end of this year. And I have mentioned this store before because I worked there for 5 Halloween seasons back in the 90s. And I've mentioned it. I've brought up the store a lot because I have so many stories that are connected to that store. But I've never really talked about what that store is, really. So I wanted to kind of tell y'all what an amazing achievement that store is, even though it's closing in part because this city is becoming too goddamn expensive for, artists to live in and for actually cool local businesses to really survive. And so I'll just say Lucy in Disguise with Diamonds is a costume and vintage clothing store that opened up in 1984 by this woman named Jenna Radke. Just sort of this woman who had a big collection of funky clothes and people just kept borrowing her clothes, and she decided, because people always wanted to wear her clothes, so she decided to expand her collection of crazy outfits and turn it into a store. And it sort of turned into this 8,000 square foot vintage and costume shop that I've never seen anything like it before. And everyone, famous people who would come to town, they all knew that they should go there. And during the time when I worked there, there was a lot of times when, I mean, I'll just give one example of the day that when I clocked into work, you know, we got a call that morning. Bob Dylan would like to know if it would be okay if he came in to shop. And we were like, oh, of course it would be okay if Bob Dylan shopped in the store today. And all day we were, every time we heard the little ding ding of the door opening, we thought it was Bob Dylan coming in. And at no point during that day did Bob Dylan walk in the door, but we were ready.
Oh, damn it. I was just going to ask you, did he ever come? Because I'm sure you would have told me that before.
Oh, yeah. The reason why you never heard a story of me meeting Bob Dylan was because he never came in. He did shop there once before, and that was one of the reasons why he wanted to come back, was because he had been there once before. You know, I'm not going to go into too many of those kinds of stories right now, because I want to talk about just how... I mean, and people can Google it. There's a lot of online presence about this place, and there's some great, like, kind of, like, online walkthroughs and things that I'm hoping still exist after the store closes. But basically, as of August 30th, they've stopped renting stuff. And everything is just for sale between, you know, the 30th and the end of the year. And they won't be restocking anything, so people are just buying everything in that store until it's empty.
That's weird, though, because so much of their business is rentals for Halloween. I would think they'd want to do one more rental season.
But why would they do that? They're trying to get rid of everything.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
It's like instead of coming in and renting that costume for, say, I mean, like, the most expensive rental would be, say, $50, and that would be something that would be a really elaborate, expensive costume.
And a whole shabunga.
And
yeah.
There are some things that, like, let's say if you would have rented it for, let's say you might have rented it for $40, there's a shot you might get to go in there and buy it for $40 and just walk out and it's yours. So... And there are things like and it's so weird because looking at stuff now, it's been so long because I worked there in the 90s, and there's no one in that store now that was there when I was there. And it's funny to look at, like, you know, historical pictures from over the years at Lucy in Disguise and seeing pictures of people that I worked with. Like, oh, there's Mary Jane, there's Billy, there's all these people I used to know. And those people are long, long, long gone, you know. And people who were, like, the epic, awesome employees that were there forever. And, like, I was only seasonal, so I wasn't someone who was, like, you know, one of the great employees. But I was the queen of the party room.
But you were there for several years.
I was there for 5 years. And even after I left, when I wasn't going to go back anymore, I did go back just for the purpose of training the people. I did go back one more time just for one day to train people. Because as the queen of the party room, and I actually, because there was one year where this one guy, he just called me dude, and he didn't seem to want to learn my name. So that year I decided, look, if you're not going to call me by my name, you're going to call me Your Majesty. And that was the year that people just started calling me Your Majesty. And it was really fun to have, like, in front of customers, like, someone needs to ask me a question, another employee, and going, Your Majesty, can you help me with this? It was so great. But
see, that's fabulous.
But, like, the party room, I mean, this place, to help people understand, like, you walk in the door, along the left side when you first walk in is an enormous counter of jewelry, like a wall of earrings, necklaces. And when I say earrings, it's like, sometimes it's like plastic toys that have been turned into earrings. It's like jewelry. Some of it's vintage jewelry. Some of it is just shit that's been made into jewelry. You know, bolo ties made out of anything you can imagine.
Oh, yeah,
it's like the
like
weirdest shit.
all the way down the side of the store on that side, huh?
About halfway back.
Yeah.
But then if you're standing in front of that door, to your right is a bunch of feather boas, and then just past the feather boas is an accessories counter where you can get hosiery and opera gloves and sunglasses and just all kinds of crazy shit. The floor itself is just vintage clothing as far back as you can see, but as you start to walk, things get a little less vintage clothing and more costumey. And
yeah, but I like that it was always curated vintage. It wasn't shit.
Yeah, her basic business model, and I think it's fair to say it now, because since it's going away, if someone wants to take this idea and run with it, I think it's not a bad thing to do now that it's going to be gone. So someone can take this idea because it's genius. If you want to go to, let's say, garage sales and buy ugly polyester 70s clothes for a nickel and then put it into a costume shop and rent it, because if it's polyester, you can wash it 10,000 times and it's never going to degrade.
Yeah.
And you can rent it once a week for $10 a pop instead of selling it for $20 and then never seeing it again.
Exactly.
So even though, yeah, sure, someone could come in and buy it, or you can put a sale price on it that's so expensive that people won't buy it, but have a rental price on the ticket so that people will rent it for costume parties and whatever. And this was not a place that was only open at Halloween. This was a year-round business.
Yeah.
And in Austin, there's a lot of, fraternity, sorority parties. There's all kinds of shit going on year-round, and people are always looking for...
Oh, that's right, because they always have their stupid theme parties.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
And, I mean, college students are so dumb, they think that, the same dumb outfit is going to take them to the 60s party, to the 70s party, to the pimp and hoe ball, to the, whatever. They don't know the difference from one party to the next. And you're just like, yes, sir, I'll sell you this stupid outfit, because they don't fucking know what they want. And you just keep selling them, you just keep renting them the same dumb outfit. And they all show up in the same outfit, and they don't care because they wear the same outfit every day of their lives anyway, as all their friends, so they don't care. And, and I worked in the party room, which was wigs and latex masks and accessories like plastic swords and hats and things. Mm-hmm. And that was like floor to ceiling, like an old storefront with really, really high ceilings.
Yeah, but wigs, you're not talking 10 wigs. You're talking like
hundreds and hundreds of wigs.
Yeah. Oh my god.
And some of the wigs were quality enough that they could be laundered, so we would rent them and then they would come back. And I was one of the only people that cared enough to condition the wigs and brush them out and restyle them before I put them away. And we also had floor to ceiling rolling ladders to get to the hats and masks that were up at the ceiling.
Yeah.
And I have a great fear of heights, and I would be bruised on my legs and arms because I would crawl up there and have to shove my arms through and toss masks and hats down to people at the floor level. It was when you're in your 20s and you can be on your feet for like a 10-hour shift. It was the best job I could have. Yeah. I loved it so much. And I would work 12-hour shifts sometimes during Halloween. And it was so, the amount of creativity you could have. Yeah. And on Halloween, I could show up in my Gene Simmons costume and people would be like, well, where do you get a costume like that? And I'm like, you spend 3 months making it. That's how you get a costume like this.
3 months and about, I don't know, $500-600.
Yeah.
You or now it'd be $1,000.
Yeah, I have no idea how much. Actually, it
if
would have
I
been a lot
remember
easier to
right,
make those
that's
now.
where it was that store. It was Lucy's where we bought
The platform shoes.
the platform shoes
Yeah.
that we built to make the Kiss platform.
Right.
Yeah.
And part of the reason why that store had, of course, you know, like now a lot of that kind of stuff is a lot easier to find. Back then, the reason why that store had so much great stock is that she would travel the country buying warehouses of new old stock, of old platform shoes that nobody wanted. She would buy old costume shops that were closing. She would buy everything they had. Like she had, once that store became successful at renting old ugly 70s clothes, you know, I mean that's kind of how it started. She was able to just go buy, you know, a small warehouse full of old clothes and just turn, you know, that, like when I said 8,000 square feet full of merchandise, I wasn't exaggerating.
Oh, yeah. It's like you can barely move in there.
Yeah. It was.
And everything is fabulous.
Yeah. And it was, you know, and that was just the stuff that was out on the floor. I mean, we had, there was a lot of the stuff in there that we had multiples of, and we had like, there was a house, people didn't know it, there was a house behind the store that was filled with more merchandise.
Good stuff.
You know.
And I do remember when I first went to Guatemala, you know, when I had all that extra stuff I hadn't sold from you and doing the booths and everything.
Right.
I think she bought all of it.
Oh, all those costume pieces that you had made, yeah.
Yeah, she brought the shirts, the capes. I think they bought all of it.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember that. I wonder if any of, I mean, probably not. God, that was 25 years ago.
Oh, if some of it's still there?
30 years ago. I wonder if any of my stuff is still there in that store that I made.
You know, it's possible because I'm sure a lot of it got rented, and so it probably, it's possible because they tried really hard to not sell things because they wanted to keep it around. Because every time they sold something, they'd have to get another one to replace it. I mean, they had a lot of, one of the things I loved, my friend June, who was a brilliant costumer. She's like, you know, she's a great Rennie from way back, and she worked in the costume department. She helped design these amazing Renaissance costumes that were, and the women's ones were designed in such a way that they basically were adjustable, that almost any size woman could wear them.
See, that's amazing.
But what was weird, and we priced them at like $1,000 because we didn't want anyone to ever buy them. And she made like every woman's dress had a man's costume that matched it, for the idea that like couples could rent them together and have like a matching, like a king and queen or whatever, like idea. And we never ever wanted those to sell, but I remember one day someone they rented it to go to the Ren Fair, and when instead of returning it, they were like, I love this dress so much, I want to buy it. And they were like, keep the rest of my deposit, I've decided I want to keep it. And it was like, awesome. Well, wouldn't you just rather pay a hell of a lot less money and just have someone custom make you a Renaissance dress? Because that dress is not made for you. I know. Then. But there's a lot of people who just don't know you can just have a dress made for you. You could just take pictures of that dress and go to a seamstress and say, can you make me this dress? And they'd say, sure. It'd cost a hell of a lot less than $1,000. But anyway, back to the store. So the store is like, you know, by the time y'all hear this, the store will probably be mostly empty. And it's really sad. And the first time I drive down Congress Avenue and that storefront isn't there, because that's another thing. It's an iconic storefront. Like, half of the storefront is zebra striped, and the other half is like multicolored confetti. And they, in more recent years, a local fiberglass artist had started making these beautiful fiberglass sculptures to kind of supplement, famous local stores, and he made a zebra dressed as Carmen Miranda to sit on the roof of Lucy in Disguise. And there's a part of me that kind of hopes that no matter what else moves in there, that maybe that zebra will get to stay, because it's such a fucking local landmark.
My theory is you're gonna get some yuppie, stupid, professional sort of gentrified business that's gonna go in there, but they're gonna leave that to be like, so we're still part of the old Austin.
Well,
I really think that's what's going to happen.
And apparently to Soros,
there's a lot of that shit.
Well, South Congress is, it's already been changing a lot. When Lucy's first moved in, there was still, when I first worked there was still a porno theater, an actively working porno theater down the street. There was still hookers. I miss the hookers on South Congress. I wonder, there's one in particular I used to see every day. The one with the knee pads. The one who just walked around wearing knee pads every day. I miss her. But, it's another great Austin icon disappearing, and I'm going to be so damn sad when it's gone. But I keep thinking about, I should go down there, but I don't think I can, because I think it'll upset me too much. I have way too many great memories in there, and I don't want anything to tarnish. I just want to pretend like it's still there. In my mind, it will never go away. So, I lift my Diet Coke to you, Lucy in Disguise with Diamonds, you awesome store. And yes. I feel so sad that I can't tell people to just go there, because by the time y'all hear this, it'll be mostly gone. But I will always have more stories to tell about that fucking amazing place.
The Bitchin' Boutique.
Yes.
I think we need to give them a thing, Spike. We can give them a drop that they could play on their
yes,
show.
I think we've got to find some time and get time to do that.
Right now. I think we should do it right now. Look, I'll show you how easy it is, Spike. Watch this. I'm just going to do it live.
Okay, do it live.
Like that bloke screams. I'm just going to do it live. Watch this. Hi, this is Dr. Dan from the Two Skeptical... I can't do it now. Look, I can't speak. Too much pressure. I'll try again. Take 52. Hi, this is Dr. Dan from the Two Skeptical Chaps podcast, and you are listening to the most bitchin' boutique. See? That was easy, wasn't it?
Okay.
They could send us one, we could play it as.
Yeah.
Right, you do it.
Yeah.
Right,
what do you want me to say?
Whatever comes to mind.
Hi, this is Spike from the Two Skeptical Chaps podcast, who ain't no bitch, but you're listening to the Bitchin' Boutique.
Oh, that was good. I hope they use that. Let's see if they cut it and put it in their next show.
Diplomatic community.
So speaking of Lucy in Disguise...
Yes, what?
I don't know if you remember, but there is a Verity Noslin story related to Lucy in Disguise.
Oh my god. Oh, I don't know. I don't know if I remember that. How exciting.
Well, it's related to...
You know what? We haven't used Verity's theme song in a while. I'm going to play Verity's theme song.
Oh my god, it's been forever. That'll make Angie happy.
The World According to Verity.
Yeah, because we haven't talked about Verity in a long time.
We usually just sort of mention her, but we don't do like an actual Verity story. So let's how formal. I'm excited.
But if you remember, this is related to, the endless, and, all the years that I knew her, she was always on the job hunt.
Well, yeah, because she couldn't hold down a job for very long because of the menses or whatever,
Oh, yes.
So many reasons why she couldn't work.
So I'm trying to think if this was before or after she was escorted outside of Toys R Us by security in tears because she got fired.
Oh, God.
I think this was after that, but I'm not sure. I mean, how do you get fired from Toys R Us within a month of working there?
Wasn't Toys R Us the one that she kept not going to work because she was always having her period? Wasn't that Toys R Us?
It could have been, because that was the first job that she had gotten in Austin.
Right.
And she was continuously, not going in. But anyway,
I mean, I had terrible periods. I mean, I understand that, but she kind of somehow always had her period.
Oh, and it was never her period, it was her monthly flow.
Her monthly flow, yes.
And it was, of course, said very furtively while looking down.
Yes. She was very ashamed of her monthly flow.
But anyway, when she was, on the second job hunt, as it were.
Right.
She had gone to apply at Lucy's.
Oh, God.
And I don't remember how we talked about it. I think I told you that she had applied there because she told me, or I think I told her to apply there because really that would have been a perfect job for her, really.
Yeah. I mean, there was a lot of rules to working there, and she might not have been able to follow the rules, but
yeah. But I think she would have done really well working there. But anyway, I don't remember the chain of events, but I guess she told a friend to look for her resume or something, just to kind of do her a favor to see if they would interview her or something like that. And when your friend found the resume, she said something to the effect of, "Oh, yes, I remember her because I got this really weird resume covered with fan stickers. And I remembered this really weird, crazy-looking woman coming in looking disheveled and shoeless." Which is sad, but when you consider the source, it's kind of funny and not so sad.
Oh, God.
Do you remember that now?
Oh, God. God, you'd think I would remember that.
And I remember the resume, and I remember she had all these stickers, along lengthwise were these round stickers, and it was I don't know, the Power Rangers or something.
Oh, God.
That she used for, special resumes for, fanish kind of shops or costume shops. I guess she felt like the fan stickers would put her a cut above in the geek world, and that would get her a job.
Oh, absolutely.
But combined with children's stickers on a resume and being disheveled and shoeless after she got off the bus.
Yeah, I mean, whatever she was going to wear was going to be odd because she sort of, head to toe polyester and everything, but still the shoeless, that's, oh God. And shoeless was not going to go over well because the owner, as brilliant as the owner was, the owner had a very, very specific I don't ever want to see your toes policy.
Oh, that's interesting.
Oh yeah, no open-toed shoes ever. Not for safety purposes, but because she really did not want to see anyone's toes.
That's fascinating.
I mean, she had a lot of rules about how we were to dress. Whether she was ever in the store or not, we had to dress following her rules. Oh. That would have been one of the reasons why Verity would have had an issue working there. But yeah, oh my God, though. But oh my God, disheveled and shoeless.
But anyway, I mean, yeah, is it sad? Yes. Does it sound cruel to laugh about it? Yes. But when you consider all of the history and all of the frustration I dealt with trying to help this woman.
Yes.
With her parents even trying to help me help her.
Yes.
For her to pull that shit at the time, it is funny now.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Oh, my Lord.
That is the Verity Noslin story.
Oh, Verity.
And did she get an interview? No, because they thought she was insane.
Yeah, there's no way. They would have pretended like they didn't see her. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm as unprofessional as they come, and I would, if I was hiring for a geeky fan place, if I ran one, I would hire pretty much a bunch of misfits on purpose.
Oh,
But I
that
think
place
I
was the
would-
perfect place for misfits. I mean,
Oh,
I was
yeah.
the only person there. I mean, I have turquoise hair now, but I used to, I mean, there was like me and one other person, and we used to talk about, well, we're the only ones here who don't have purple hair.
Yeah.
You know, it was like everyone's hair was dyed a weird color. Everyone had a million piercings and tattoos. Everyone, I mean, it was the place. And this, you know, Austin is filled with places where people who can't work anywhere else can work. And Lucy's was one of those.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But even I would have ran from an adult woman who was giving me a resume that was covered with Power Ranger stickers. That's pretty fucking weird.
Well, there's having a personal style and being quirky, and there's being, oh, she's nuts.
Yeah, yeah.
And we are very, I mean, obviously we are very, you know, mental health positive, but some people are just fucking nuts.
Yeah, and unfortunately at that period in her life, that was indeed the case.
Yes.
You know.
But on that note, happy Halloween, everybody.
Happy Halloween. Thanks for listening. If you enjoy our show, please take a moment to rate us and review us on Apple Podcasts or Stitcher.
If you send us a screenshot of your review, we'll send you a Bitchin' Boutique sticker.
Everyone loves stickers. Please subscribe or add us to your favorites wherever you get your podcasts.
Subscribers get new episodes first and are also more attractive.
Drop us a line anytime at PitneyAndAmelia@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you.
Somebody should go as Verity Noslin for Halloween, and they should be disheveled and shoeless, carrying some mac and cheese with no herbs in it, and they should take a picture and send it to us.
Yeah, polyester. High collar, high neck.
Yes.
Long sleeve with polyester pants.
Greasy hair.
Long greasy hair tucked behind the ears.
Yeah, go completely method. Don't bathe for as long as you can stand it.
Look like a mouse.
Oh my God.
God bless her. Anyway, we may be awful, but
we're right.
right.